Hey guys, so Aaron here. Special knife today to review and show a little cutting performance and such. This is the 210mm white #1 Sukenari honyaki gyuto. The owner of it actually sent it to me to have the mirror polish redone on it, as it was scratched up pretty good, and just needed taken care of. But as you can see, it's nice and bright and mirrory. I really haven't used this knife too much. It was more of a, like I say, it was more of a project, and he asked me to do a video for it real quick. But this is from Chef Knives Go. This knife is. All their honyakis, as far as I know, always will come with a custom handle. This one, I'm shot in the dark. I think it's African Blackwood and Tiger Maple ferrule. The edge on this knife is, I just touched up also because it's a it's a pass around. So I just touched up real quick with the Sharpening Pro 1K, 2K, 5K, Rishiyama, I believe it is, 6,000 stone, and last one was Iminishi's 8,000 grit stone. Smaller stone, but it works really nice. The edge is very, very sharp, of course, thankfully, and I did give it a couple little light strops just to make sure all the burrs off and all that, and it's a nice, really nice, sticky edge, but really nice and refined. So, like I say, I think the only thing I've actually cut was like half an onion with this knife, and that's been it. From that, just what I observed from it, from the only couple of test cuts I did with it, the tip area is very thin. Really nice thin tip area, so it'll whip right through a onion with the tip, no big deal. It is a convex grind, as far as I can tell. It's not a laser. I was kind of sort of a little bit surprised, because the honyaki I had was a 270 white #2 made by Konosuke, which was a laser, and I loved everything about it except for the overall size. It was a little too big for my taste. But this one's like slightly a little more like a workhorser, a little bit, has that little bit of a, as you see, like I say, it's not laser thin, but it's not a workhorse. It's right in the middle, basically, as I would put it. But so without further ado, we'll see how the edges, retention, overall sharpness, a couple of things here to cut, and we'll go from there. Tomato, pretty nice and ripe. About time for tomato season. I usually don't do this one-handed cut thing, so bear with me. This is just, that was me just moving the knife. This is just the weight of it. So overall, it's sharp, which means actually I did it. So we'll see how it does with just the chopping. Trying to use about the same portion of the blade. Been a while since I've actually done this too. I'm rusty. That's a juicy tomato too. So we'll see if you can go through the other half too. Like I say, we're going to try and use the same portion. Yeah, see, that's when you can tell you've pretty much taken the overall 100% sharpness out of the knife, and it makes that little indent right there. But yeah, you go through another. All you have to do is just readjust your technique a little bit. Knife's considering it is white #1, so it's a very very pure carbon. I mean, nothing. I don't, as far as I know, there's no other knife that has that kind of super high carbon content out of the traditional Japanese steels, out of the blue 1, blue 2, and the white 1, 2, and 3. So, and like I say, for 8,000 grit plus stropped edge, that's actually not too bad for for that. And just a little on the sharpening of it, it does have that honyaki feel where everything, it's really hard, so everything feels like you're sharpening glass. Nice big old spud. This one's for non-stickage. We'll see how it does. Like I say, mirror polishing. If it's a flat ground knife, like just a standard V knife, V grind, this will stick pretty bad, especially with the mirror polish. But hopefully, if it's it should be really nice and convex. We'll find out right now. A little bit, but not too bad. Like I say, it could be, there's still maybe a few fine scratches or such, but it's convex. It works. Slow it down a little bit so you can kind of see the. Like I say, I haven't used this, so I'm not 100% down with the whole, with the grind of it and everything like that, but, it's, like I say, if I had more time to, play with it, I'd, get a lot more better feel for it, but it's a good knife. Like I say, for and it also comes down to preferences. My preferred is lasers, but like I say, for a medium workhorse knife, this knife is very good. And I gotta do it. I mean, like I say, and a lot of people always ask me, why do you always do onions and such like that? Personally, you get to see how the tip reacts to it. If it wedges, how cleanly it will go through, the grind of it, all that. I'm going to tell you a few things. Like the potato, you saw, you can do real thin slices, but as you can also see, with the grind of it, it can, it might be a little thick, but so yeah, like I say, for this one, the tip of it is very good and thin, so this should work pretty quick. Yeah, that was effortless, which, I really do like thin ground tips for this kind of work. Alright, we'll try for a little speed on you now. So there you have it. A very well ground, awesome workhorse honyaki. If you're really scared of the super laser stuff, I would easily say go pick up a Sukenari. And for my first one ever holding it and using it, a very, very solid knife. Thanks, guys.